Using an ATM or paying for something with a credit or debit card. Checking your email or ordering something online. Opening your mailbox. Even tossing out the trash. These are all common tasks many of us do daily. Not to be an alarmist, but these are some of the ways your identity can be compromised or stolen.
It can cost you hundreds and thousands of dollars, also hours of time, to try to get everything straightened out.
UT Extension's Dr. Ann Berry says identity theft is getting worse in Tennessee and across the
Podcast. If you think identity theft can't happen to you, you are dead wrong. Take a look at these numbers. According to the Federal Trade Commission, 10 million people a year, about 27,000 people a day, that adds up to 19 people every minute, are the victims of identity theft. And it's happening all the time. Just today, we heard that nearly 10,000 Social Security numbers were stolen from Stanford University computers 2 weeks ago. Also this month, account information for almost 110,000 Bank of America and Wachovia customers also may have been stolen. And here at Time Warner, tapes holding personal information on as many as 600,000 current and former employees vanished during shipping. When crooks start using your name, your Social Security number, your credit card numbers, your life becomes a nightmare.
When I cannot live my life.
By January, Schmierer faced $1 million IRS bill. She was temporarily detained by Customs returning from a foreign business trip with her husband, and her Social Security account now shows a zero balance, erasing 14 years of work before her marriage.
Social Security right now sends me to IRS. IRS sends me to Social Security. Every now and then they'll send me to the FTC, whom I have a case with. No one wants to do anything about it. Right now, I have nowhere.
As it's her son's fresh and unused Social Security number that's even more valuable than hers.
I would never consider putting his information in and just, I mean, he's 6, you know, he's not buying anything.
Debick's ID Protection and Carnegie Mellon University studied 4,300 children and found 10% of them had their Social Security numbers stolen. Even more alarming, the rate was 51 times higher in children than adults.
It's a clean slate.
Happen like this. Several months ago, Andrew Sachs got an alarming phone call. Her newborn baby had just tested positive for illegal drugs. Problem is, Andrew hasn't given birth in years.
As much as I denied it, they just kept insisting that, yes, I was the mother of this child. There was nothing that I could say to get out of it.
To make matters worse, authorities showed up at her door the next day, calling her an unfit mother and threatening to take away all 4 of her kids.
When you know you're innocent and you didn't do anything wrong, it just absolutely, I was in tears. I was a
Scalzo was booked on burglary, drugs, and weapon charges. She faced 20 years behind bars.
I have 2 kids, and I'm facing 20 years for something that I didn't do.
Scalzo thought if law enforcement would not compare the fingerprints and the mugshot, she would do that herself, once released on bail.
I went to Henderson Courthouse, went to the jail, tried to get anything on this, tried to get the mugshots, the fingerprint, the discovery. They wouldn't give me anything, told me I had to hire an attorney to have it subpoenaed.
You shouldn't have to hire an attorney to clear this up.
Craig Perry, Scalzo's attorney, tells us that with the rise of identity theft, this creates new and unforeseen problems for both police and the public.
The police had the booking information from the original arrests, and they didn't pull the records and compare. It took me 5 seconds to tell that they weren't the same fingerprints.
After spending $3,500 in legal fees, months of litigation, Scalzo would finally get her day in court. It took only seconds.
They dismissed the case. That was it.
Perry cautions what happened to Christie could happen to anyone.
Everyone should be.
The $1 charge that first appeared, I found out, was sort of a test to make sure that the account was active. It was as if the thief was sending out a scout to see if I was paying attention. And these charges really were getting out of control to the point where I really thought that my account might be overdrawn, and then I'd have to deal with the nightmare of the overdraft fees. At that point, I finally contacted the bank and started the process of canceling my cards and disputing the charges, but even as this process moved forward, money was still bleeding from my account. I did manage to get everything back, but it was an extremely lengthy and stressful process. Tons and tons of paperwork. A real headache that could have been much, much worse.
And his garbage can. In minutes, I retrieved Brent Collier's social security number, detailed checking account information, and enough ID to get a driver's license in his name. But I didn't stop there. I ordered new checks.
500 checks would be fine.
Did some shopping.
19,600 even?
I used Brent's credit card to purchase all kinds of merchandise.
You take Visa, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, this is easy.
I even checked out my credit rating when I rented an apartment. I simply had to fill out a rental application using his name.
Ooh, this is my credit report? Well, look, it tells everything about me. All of my credit cards.
In less than 2 days, I had taken the police chief's identity.
I feel very violated. I feel like a victim.